Go viewers. Alright, we camped along the Murray River up at Cobram today. We got here last night and this is actually, what's today's date, Moss? It's
Saturday the 20...
It's like late June. I think it might be the 27th of June or something like that maybe, but you know, like this weather for this time of year is absolutely cracking. Like back home in Melbourne I know that it's going to be it's overcast. Apparently it's overcast, so this is our setup that we had last night. We got here at probably, oh actually I'm lying, it was yesterday afternoon about 10:30 in the morning. Got some wood, set up our Jayco Swift, which we've had for probably a year or so now. We haven't used it all that much, but we're really happy with it. It's a great fan and we love it. And this is our winter well camper that we used last night, and it's amazing, that thing, we had it open, all the vents were open and it was just roaring beautifully. We had flames out the top up here, but the heat that it was generating was fantastic. But having a fire is what you want, you know, you're really going to feel it anyway. Oh shit, that's still hot actually. So anyway, I bought this, a tripod to be cooking. I got it off Facebook Marketplace and I'm really happy with it because it's an Aussie made one. It's made somewhere, you know, that uses quality material. I reckon it's pretty old. I can only imagine you couldn't buy one of these today. I might be wrong, but and with that I also got this got a furphy camp oven. It looks like it was made in 1992 because it's got a 92 written on it, and it's a 10-inch. 10 inches is probably the size like for two people, and tonight we're going to be cooking just for the two of us. It's just I'm going to do a shepherd's pie, and I watched this shepherd's pie recipe. It was I got it off YouTube actually, and it's from a guy called Fire to Fork, and I'm going to make a little bit of a change, a bit of a variation to it, to his, but not much of a variation. You know, I thought the way he did his and the ingredients that he used, I thought was a good idea. I've had plenty of shepherd's pies, what I thought was shepherd's pies in the past. And when I say what I thought was shepherd's pies, I actually use minced beef. So actually, I've been told it's a cottage pie. It's not a shepherd's pie. Shepherd's pie is sheep and it's lamb. So I bought some lamb, half a kilo of lamb from the Preston market. And all I've done is we've diced up some onion. We've got the coals happening here. I've had that fire going for probably about a few hours now. It's been going pretty much all day actually. And now it's 2:30 in the afternoon. Just get the coals going. All we want is the coals, but we're going to be cooking away from that. So there are coals, and we move the coals underneath that oven. Now if you look here, coals are shoveled on there from underneath there, and if you come a bit closer, and you can come around this side because it's actually not as hot, because I'm going to show you what we've got in here right now. I diced up the onion. I've also diced up the I also diced up some celery, because that was one variation that we changed from Fire to Fork's recipe. I put some celery in there. I thought, I love celery. It's just beautiful. We had it last night with another dish that we cooked and it turned out really nice. You can just smell it, it's beautiful. But you got the onion and you got the celery, and then we got our minced beef. And if you look there, can you see it?
Yep.
It's actually pretty good. We're looking pretty good. So all I've got is enough heat there. It had the sizzle. When I put the onion and the celery in there, it was sizzling. So I'll put that on there for probably 15 minutes on the coals, get that to heat up. One thing I've learned with these furphy camp ovens, as opposed to the Chinese camp ovens that you can get in the like, you know, Anacondas and the other camping shops today, is these are thicker. They take longer to heat up. But the benefit of that is also they take longer to cool down as well. So and they're harder. I reckon they're harder to burn. I'm thinking they're going to be harder to burn stuff as well. As I said, last night we cooked up a casserole on it, and we cooked it for hours with Osso Bucco, and it took a long time for the meat to break down. And I honestly thought that the meat was going to stick to the bottom of it, but the meat didn't stick to the bottom of it at all. So it's been seasoned really well. I got this second hand. I got it off a guy on Facebook Marketplace, so he's obviously looked after it and done a good job of seasoning it. So I'm benefiting from that. But what we'll do, we've got our meat in there, and we're about to add some other ingredients to that, and we'll come back in a couple of minutes and I'll show you that. Okay, so we're lucky being up here along the Murray. There's lots of good wood around. You know, there's an abundance of red gum around. You know, like I've camped at a lot of spots over the years, and it's always a bit of a struggle to find, I guess, the right sort of wood. You know, the wood that really burns hot. And mate, this red gum is everywhere. That being said, we're not wasteful. We try to use it sparingly, you know, like save some for other people, because there's people. This is a really popular destination for other campers, and it's good to just you know, save some for everyone else. But these coals here, if you come up and have a look in this, boys, they're nice and hot down in the bottom there, which is what I'm going to get. They're the ones you want. Get the ones in the bottom, all right? Get a nice scoop, nice big scoop of coals. They're going to stay hot for a long time, being red gum. You know. Now that's not hot like that bloody flue was earlier. Like I burnt my hand on that thing. But anyway, they're going to go back on those coals, straight on top of those coals, straight down on that. Mate, it doesn't get better than this. This is fantastic. Okay, now that we're back, I went and got some more ingredients that we need for this dish, and we're going to add these. There's actually more to go as well, but this at this stage, start it up. We've got our meat, which is our lamb that's cooked down. We've got our onions. We've got garlic in there, which I didn't mention earlier, and we've got the celery. All right, now that is just cooking nice and low and slow. You know, like it's, because I reckon this is going to take quite some time to cook. I'm not going to. It's not one of those shepherd's pies that I'm going to want to have cooked within an hour. It's going to take longer than an hour. It's 2:30 in the afternoon, and we'll be eating at, you know, 5 o'clock-ish, 6 o'clock sort of thing. We eat pretty early actually. So, so what I'll do now is, we've got some beef stock. Now, the only reason we're using beef stock is because I don't believe you can buy a lamb stock. You probably could make it yourself if you wanted to, but I'm a bit of a cheat, so it's got the OXO cubes, and we chuck the OXO cubes in there. That is a good temperature. That goes in there, the beef stock, okay? I'll give them a little bit of a stir as well at this stage, just to get that in there, get those flavours really going through. And there's a bit of moisture in that too, right? Which is what we want with the water. I'm going to put this somewhere. I'll turn it upside down there. Now, they were 2 OXO cubes. That's 500 grams of lamb mince there we got. Give you a bit of an idea. Now, I guess at the end of this, time will tell whether all these quantities that I'm putting in here are going to be good or not. But anyway, this is just a barbecue sauce. This is a smoky barbecue, they're calling it. But I'm going to put about a tablespoon of that in there as well. Thereabouts. Yeah, that'll do for now. And then we've got our Worcestershire. I'll probably put similar quantity of Worcestershire in it as well. And that'll give it a nice kick, nice bit of flavour. It's probably more than a tablespoon, isn't it? Well, roughly a tablespoon. I'm one of these people that cooks with, you know, more by eye, I guess. And now we've got a can of baked beans. Now this is a variation from Fire to Fork. He doesn't use baked beans in his, but you know, when you're camping, things just seem to taste better, you know, and it doesn't matter how bad the ingredients can be, things just seem to taste better. So we'll stir that in, get that looking good. You can see the steam coming off of it now, and it's looking fantastic. What I'm going to do as well is I'm going to add a bit of salt shortly, which I should have brought those ingredients over, but I'll put some salt and pepper in there, because you've got to have salt and pepper when you're cooking anything, in my opinion. But it's looking good. Still looking a little bit, you know, like it needs to sort of thicken up and a little bit, which will happen over time. I'll put the lid on that for now. I'm going to get salt and pepper. I'll do some of that. I can do that off of not being recorded, just to taste. Everyone's different with salt and pepper. I like lots of salt and pepper. What I'm going to also do now is keep this fire going, keep the wood up to it, keep the coals there, so I've got plenty of coals, because in time, once I put the potato on there, and you'll see the potato later on, I'm going to put some coals on top of that to get that potato nice and crispy. And we'll catch up with you soon. Okay, we're due for another update on our shepherd's pie. If you look at the amount of coals, we did shovel another shovel load underneath it earlier. But this has been going for probably half an hour or more since I last recorded this video. And if you ever look inside there, look at that. It's absolutely tickety-boom. Have a look at that. It's looking fantastic. So, still a bit juicy. And if you look down here, I don't know if you can see that in the camera, but there's no sticking to the bottom of that there. There's coals directly underneath that hot plate. But because this bloody hot plate has been seasoned so well, right, it just doesn't stick. It doesn't stick. And I'm going to do another video at a later date, which will give you something to get excited about, everyone. Fucking hell, you.
Stop whinging.
It's going to be how to season these ovens, you know. And so everyone can make this sort of dish when they're away at a beautiful location like this. You know, get out and about and start to enjoy life, you know. Don't just sit at home like we do, you know. Like, get out, and this is amazing. So anyway, till next time, we'll be back to finish off the rest of this, so take care. Okay, so now the juices have gone up. It's not as juicy as it was. Now what we're going to do is get our potato gems. This is the potato that we're going to put on top. Bloody potato gems, Coles brand. Well, they cost you like $5 or something like that. They're fantastic. And I'm going to sprinkle these over the top. Once I've done this, I'm going to cover it. Oh, they're all going, eh? What do you reckon?
Well, you haven't really done that with love, have you?
Well, there'll be a bit of love now. You watch. I'm going to spread them out and spread them on. And they're going to soak up some of those juices. And also, so they're going to be full of flavour, but you don't want too much of the juices soaked up in that, do you? Let's face it, because otherwise they're going to be juicy and not all that nice. You want it to be nice and charred on the top. So, the whole packet there, that's a kilo. Yeah, a kilo. Anyway, this goes back on. Bear with me. I can't believe how little amount of coals I needed to cook all that off. And it's been going for like an hour now or more. Now I'm going to get the shovel, which I can see over here. And this is where, look at that backdrop. This is unbelievable. I can't believe this. Now, this is where what we do is we put some coals on the lid. Now, bear with me. Melissa, you might want to spin around so you can, yeah, there you go. Look at those coals down in there. Look at that. Look at that. This is all red gum. This is all red gum. That's going to go on there. And this was what this is going to do is brown off our potatoes. Oh, hang on. There you go. That's gold. That is gold. And that is glowing hot in there. That would melt anything. Now, I'm going to bang that back. No more coals on there. Wood's going to go back on there like that. Put that back on there as well. Keep that going. And then, I reckon this will be, I'm guessing 20 minutes. I'll come back in 20 minutes. We'll have another look at that and see what it looks like. But I'm guessing it's going to be pretty bloody good, so, all right. Till next time. Okay, folks. Now, it's about 5 beers later, right? So, then when I started, so things might be a little bit hairy. But that's what happens when you're along the Murray. You have a couple of beers, a couple of Victoria bitters. Now, some people that know what they're doing, they come prepared and they have the right tools to get all these coals off the camp lid, right? Me, I've compromised and I've got a tool from somewhere else and I have, you know, anyway, that's all right. That's what you do in life, you know. Sometimes you just got to compromise. Now, it's been on for, I reckon, 45 minutes. The potato gems, they're all off there now. And I must confess, I did have a look earlier, about 20 minutes into it, and they weren't quite ready, so I ended up putting some, that's why there's all this, there's extra coals around here. I got some more coals and put it back on, so I needed, I reckon, the 45. But let's have a look. And this is going to be fine, because oh mate, have a look inside that. Can you have a look at that? There's no juice in there now. Beautiful coals. Now I'm going to serve some of this up. I understand your mouths might be watering by about now. Now, because it's bloody fantastic. Oh, that was perfect. Don't worry, mate. I knew exactly what I was doing there. Now, the thing is, some people put cheese on their shepherd's pie. And if I'm honest, if I had cheese, it'd be on there. But we didn't get cheese today. We forgot about getting bloody cheese at the supermarket, so we haven't got cheese on our shepherd's pie. But when you think about it, you go to a bakery, some of them have cheese on it, some of them don't. Some of them have just potato on the top, and that's it, you know. So I figure it's up to you what you want to do, whether you want to get some grated cheese and stick it on top. But we're not in America, we're in Australia, so we don't have cheese with everything. In America, they have cheese on bloody everything over there. But anyway, now, let's just dig into this. Can you see from that angle, it looks like you're looking down here somewhere. Can you see that? Now, this is our shepherd's pie. Now, it ain't going to look good on, you know, served up, let's face it. But it looks bloody, I reckon, that's going to be all right, you know. And another thing you might want to do as well, there's none stuck to the bottom. It's not stuck to the bottom at all. What you might want to do as well is make a bit of gravy and put a bit of gravy over it, whatever you like, tomato sauce, you know. We didn't put gravy inside it because some people cook with gravy in the meat we thought that it would burn in there and it might stick and it wouldn't be right. So we thought, nah, gravy's not going to go. We have got gravy in there, but we thought, nah, we'll just do it like this. We'll try it out. Bear with me. I'm going to put that on my little table there. I've got, I don't need a knife, I've got a fork and a spoon. I'll leave that there. That's bloody magnificent. And now I'm going to have a taste of this. And if you want to come a bit closer, or you can stay there if you want. But we'll have a test, and I'll let you know if this is good. Let's face it. That's not bad. I'm actually quite happy with that flavour. It's bloody really nice. So anyway, you guys enjoy the rest of your night or your day. I'm going to have another beer and relax. The sun's about to go down. We're going to have some nice coals in there to keep us warm for the rest of the night. And thanks viewers. Until next time. Have a good night.